tell us a little bit about what are the kind of things that you need to be considering when you're trying to be kind of more localized in your search engine optimization and even just generally positioning yourself as a business?
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously within real estate, it's a very localized kind of business. People want to work with a real estate agent that understands the area that they live in, that understands the local market, that knows where the best spots are for them and what are going to be the best options, right? So when we're talking about local SEO and showing up better on Google organically within a local kind of area, the most important thing is really like the messaging, because what a lot of businesses do, and this is even outside of the real estate industry, but just in general, is when they create content for their website, when they create a website in general in the first place, they make it very broad. They talk very broadly. Like they'll say, I'm a real estate agent, or if they write a blog post and they say like, how to identify or how to negotiate on a house, let's say, for example, instead of just writing a blog post that's like how to negotiate on a house, what they should be doing is writing a blog post on how to negotiate a house in Toronto, right? Or in whatever localized area that they're in. And what this does is when you're inside of your content on your website, when you're talking about a particular region in a particular area, Google identifies that you're an expert in that area. They know that you're an expert in that area because you're constantly talking about that area. Versus if you just write a generic blog post giving and not specify like the area within that blog post, then Google has no idea. They have no way to know that you're an expert in this like local area. So at the end of the day, like anytime that you're creating a piece of content, if you want to increase the odds of you showing up in a particular spot, you should be mentioning that spot. And then when people go to Google and they do their searches on Google, within their search term, they might also put the city name. So Google's going to pick up on that like relevance, like, okay, this piece of content is really relevant to what this user is searching for because this piece of content mentions the name of the region, and so does the user search query. So it's really important to like constantly like be using like these localized terms, and that's going to help you to show up on Google better. But there's also like some things that you could do on Google that are very specific for local businesses, where it doesn't really matter as much for a nationwide business to do, but it's very important for a local business to do. And that includes like the Google business profile. So making sure that you're showing up on Google Maps, right? Even if you're a real estate agent, I recommend that you do that. People may go to Google Maps to search for a real estate agent because they want to find somebody localized, and Google Maps is kind of what people use to find the best local providers. So making sure that you have a profile set up on there, like it's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. So I definitely recommend that you do that. Inside of your like social media handle and that kind of stuff, you shouldn't just put real estate agent, but you should put Toronto real estate agent, because when somebody goes into that social media, if they do a search on there, your odds of popping up are going to be higher because you have that like localized term, right? So a lot of it is about just using these local terms inside of your content.